our lives, we sit and wonder why God has us where He does. A living sacrifice to be an example to the world, so that everyone can see His goodness and His mercy, how His grace covers me. You gotta go where God is. You gotta shine so people can see. You gotta grow where you are and know that God will keep you. You gotta grow where God is. You gotta shine so people can see. You gotta grow where you are and know that God will keep you. Many are the plans of man, but only God's plan will prevail. Don't be weary in well-doing. All you have to do is keep going. Have faith and believe, and know one day you'll receive all the blessings that's for you. He is going to see you through. You gotta go where God leads. You gotta shine so people can see. You gotta grow where you are and know that God will keep you. You gotta go where God leads. You gotta shine so people can see. You gotta grow where you are and know that God will keep you. Greater is He that's in me than he that's in the world. I am an overcomer. I'm more than a conqueror. Greater is He that's in me than he that's in the world. I am an overcomer. I'm more than a conqueror. Greater is He that's in me than he that's in the world. I am an overcomer. I'm more than a conqueror. Greater is He that's in me than he that's in the world. I am an overcomer. I'm more than a conqueror. Gotta go where God leads. Where God leads. Gotta shine so people can see. They can see. Gotta go where you are. Where you are. And know that God will keep. He will keep. Gotta go where God leads. Where He leads. Gotta shine so people can see. They can see. Gotta grow where you are and know that God will keep you. You gotta go where God leads. Where God leads. Gotta shine so people can see. They can see. Gotta grow where you are. Where you are. And know that God will keep. He will keep you. Go where God leads. You gotta shine so people can see.
Hello and welcome to Turning Dreams into Reality. I'm so glad you decided to join us today. I am your host, Dr. Taskeka L. And it's a celebration. It's our 1-year anniversary. Give it up for Turning Dreams into Reality. 1 year on VoxWave.com. We are celebrating today. I'm so excited. We started this show on March the 10th, 2018. With just one word from God, and that was all that was given to me. No other direction but to do it. And we're going to talk about that today, that when we're given an assignment, that we should go ahead and fulfill it, because two things can happen. One, God can remove you, and He can replace you and give it to somebody else to fulfill, but the assignment will get done. And so He gave me one word, and I said yes, and He gave me all of the provisions, the resources, and everything to get it done. And I'm excited today to celebrate that. So give it up again for Turning Dreams into Reality. Happy anniversary! Yes, we are here. Like I said, my name is Dr. Taskeka L. I am the president and CEO and founder of To Everything There Is a Season Enterprise, because we have several entities under our enterprise. So I'm excited about that, where we take your dreams, turn them into vision, and make those visions become a reality. And I have some special guests with me today, and we're going to have a celebration. I just told them that I like to do it like a little differently than a sit-down talk show. I like to have some fun, so I told them they're playing a game called Great Minds Think Alike, and they're like, well, it's a first. I said, you know what? It's a first for me, too. That's what we are. The first, we are history makers, and in the past 3 weeks, since the last time we've been together, 1 week I spent a lot of time just talking about faith, how one act of faith can release you into the plan of God, because without faith, it's impossible to please him. So if you want to please God, then you have to activate faith, because the word also said it pleases the Father to bless you. So you're going to please him and he's going to please you, and then you're going to be released into the plan in which he designed for your life. So I'm excited about that we talked about faith and how we have to act in our faith. And then the following week, I shared a lot about power. I was at the Black and Influential Conference, and I have one of the Black CEO members with us today. I'm going to introduce him a little later. And I was at the conference, and I spoke a lot about unleashing your power. And what is power? Pushing out what is eagerly ready to come out. And so what's inside of you is just waiting to come out. But guess what? It's waiting on you. You have to make the step. You have to make the decision. You have to make the choice. You choose either. I look at it this way. You choose that you're not going to do it, or you choose you're going to do it. Just like you choose to be broke, you can choose to be wealthy. Just like you choose to have life, or you can choose to have death. You make the choice. And so today we hope that after we're finished, you make the choice to turn your dreams into reality. And this week, I really talked about what it takes to be a history maker. You are a history maker. All you're doing, see, your life doesn't belong to you. It belongs to God. God is giving you a story. Either the story is going to come through what's called process. A process is just simply a series of events with a particular end. The end is always going to be good, and it's going to be God. And if it's not good, then it's not God. So you need to go back. And what happens is you're going to go back and repeat that process, because God's going to teach you a lesson. The best thing to learn is that don't repeat the processes. Go through it, come out, learn the lesson, and keep moving. And so with that being said, you are a history maker. Say it with me. I am a history maker. You know what that means? You take the story God gave you, his story, and you make it for the best and for his good, so you can inspire, influence, and impact lives. And I'm excited about today, because why? It's our anniversary. Woo! Anniversary. Hey! Do you know what today is? It's our anniversary. Yes, yes. And I'm sitting here looking at this camera, but I got this fine man that's sitting over there that I'm looking at, so it's hard for me to keep track. Give it up for my husband, William Green. Yeah, in the house with us, and our engineer who keeps me on point all the time. Give it up for Ron.
Yeah, Ron.
Yes, and we have some studio guests today. Yes, and I'm excited about our studio guests that we have, and we have others coming too. But I'm going to get started, because I have a special guest today that I've actually known for some while, but I started with his DMV Mastermind group last year. And so I'm just really excited about what the vision and the mission of this group is and the purpose. And so I'm just going to let him talk about himself and then just share a little things about DMV Mastermind. So please help me and welcome Dr. Larry White Sr.
Thank you. Dr. Green, I just want to first say thank you for the opportunity to be on your show today. I thought you were going to preface that you had met my wife many years ago.
Yes.
Because you all have done some great things in education. So about myself, I am the CEO and founder of VIP Events Concierge. Its inception started in Baltimore in 2012. We have three arms to the company. We have event planning, event marketing, and transportation. On the transportation side, we cover Richmond to New York. And we have hosted events in 19 counties out of the 23 in Maryland. And so, having the business, I realized I needed some support and team. So in 2016, as my dad was passing away, I did a gala at the BWI Hilton. It was phenomenal. Actor Tim and Daphne Reed showed up from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and WKRP in Cincinnati. And a good friend of mine at the time, still a good friend, Edward Reed, says, hey, you need add some workshops to this gala. And I said, well, this was tough doing it by myself. I had a good committee, but people were falling off because we had to raise $20,000. And it was all about small business initiatives. So the Lord put it on my spirit to have a DMV mastermind group. And you see Robert, you see Dr. McCoy, we just brought on Dr. Sharon. And the Lord allows me to say, hey, you need to connect with these people. And the way I look at it, as far as a DMV mastermind, we're an extension of your business, and we try to be each other's clients. So prayerfully, we will all change hands in currency, which has happened, but also give folks an opportunity to speak. So the DMV Mastermind has been going on since 2016, and we've expanded to Kentucky, Tennessee, and Atlanta, and Houston. So it's been a blessing.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And so why DMV Mastermind? So when I just, share it with the listeners that in January of 2018, during my time with God, he spoke to me and he said that I need you to help people to turn their dreams into reality. And I was actually meditating on Genesis 37 through 50 about Joseph. And Joseph had a dream, and Joseph had multiple dreams, not just one dream. And what Joseph had went through to try to turn his dreams, to share those dreams and have them come into fruition, in which they actually evolved and did towards the end of the chapters. And so with that being said, that's how this all came to be. It was not just, I saw other people doing a talk show, and so I wanted one, or, I always want to be a talk show host, right? Let me just tell you. But, it was like it had to be done. And how do I impact more people, not just, within the United States, but globally and things of that nature. So why DMV Mastermind? Why that title, and what's the purpose and mission?
Why not? No. But, of course, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. And now it's D.C., DMV, and beyond, because we've expanded out.
Yeah.
This area is very fast-paced. And what I say that is that when you come here, children have books, all right? You've assisted your daughter in writing a book. When I got here and I was in competition with Stan Richards and Cheryl Wood for Best Community Leader in the country, I think the thing that separated me from them is that I didn't have a book.
Okay.
I didn't have a talk show. And the way I operate is everything has to be in alignment with Christ for me. If the Lord doesn't say that's going to help your business to glorify the kingdom, then I don't do it. But the DMV Mastermind group, it's almost like an organization. We're not an LLC or a nonprofit or for-profit at this time, but more like a think tank to try to help others build websites and help them, especially for the startup folks, like Larry Taylor, who's probably listening. We've helped him with his deck, his media kit. So the DMV Mastermind Group is a think tank organization to really help people get over the hump, that if you need $5,000 to get your business going, website, book, all that good stuff, we more than likely can help you get that done for $500. Give you a quick example. Maria Stanfield, she's in Atlanta right now. She wanted to take her church group out for a night on the town. She called me up. I gave her a $200 discount because of the DMV Mastermind partnership, but I also had to deliver a good service, because one of the things I tell my mastermind members, if you have 53 things on your website that you can do, make sure you can do all 53 things, because I want to make sure that I'm giving you quality. And all of the members bring something else. Like Robert is a great speaker, and I learned from him. Amazing speaker. Dr. Essie McCoy, she goes in 50 directions with higher education, being an author, and so, and as well as Dr. Sharon and Dr. Valika Moore, I think she's out in the hallway. Always creating partnerships. To turn it back over to you. Creating vision, creating partnerships. And the DMV Mastermind Group, the partnerships, I think, for the most part, when you start seeing us all work together, it happened through the DMV Mastermind. And so there's some members that we don't have anymore, but I watch them still working with other folks. There's folks in Philadelphia working by way of DMV Mastermind. And so it helps folks take that dream off the pillow and get you going, and we have a great following. I've been blessed to go around the world 3 times, and writing this book, which we'll talk about a little bit. I've had a lot of ups and downs in my life, and I try to make sure, being the chairman for the past 2 years, if I've had an issue where I've had an issue maybe like in business, I haven't only had to do 2 refunds in 6 years. That's pretty good, right? So I teach people how you can maintain your business, because most of the time, if you're a business owner, if you read all the books, you're liquidating your assets and going out of business at the 5-year mark. We're going on the 7-year mark, and we are now knocking on a door from a regional brand to a national brand.
Okay, wonderful. So you put a little plug in there about your book. So before I go to my next question, let's just talk about your book. So you are a first-time author?
First-time author. Second book will be done in 60 days.
Okay.
The ultimate networking entrepreneur. Had an opportunity to see Doc Walker a couple of weeks ago at Radio 1. And I remember when I used to go to 3 to 5 networking events just to get my name out there. But the book is dedicated to my parents.
Okay.
They passed away in the past 2 years. But they always said, you're going to go very far. And if you'd have told me a few years ago I would have had a book, shout out to Dr. Essie McCoy for proofreading my project. But yeah, I'm so proud of this, and we've sold over 300 copies in the United States as of today.
Right. Wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you for purchasing it too.
Yes, you are welcome. Listen, the word support, I've learned that, your greatest support is yourself.
Amen.
And so if you tell people that you really support them, then it should be done through your words and your actions.
Yeah.
That's what builds your integrity and your character.
Amen.
And so if I say I'm going to support you, I'm going to do that in some fashion or behind the scenes, praying the best that I can to push you through, to continue to push you and love you to greatness. Now listen, we do all of these things, and we're going to talk about this and everything a little later in the show, but we do all of these things. We write books, we have these networking groups, we speak, we have talk shows, but what is the purpose? Think about that. When we talk about living a purposeful life, what is the purpose? There's always a greater purpose. It's not about you.
Right.
Your purpose is bigger than you. So talk about the impact that you have made and DMV Masterminds have made based on what you have been walking in.
Well, the second book is going to be around the 3 Ps.
Okay.
The pain.
Okay.
You're going to go through some pain. The Lord's going to make sure you go through some pain while you're here. If you think you're going to be on this earth and not be shaken up, you're going to go through some pain. That pain will put you in a position to live into your purpose so you can walk into your destiny. The Mastermind Group, every member that has come through those doors have been saved Christians. And that's important because when all of the things we're talking about, whether it be book writing, websites, I like to just say, within those 3 Ps, think about what your God-given talent is. And to tap into those God-given talents. It took me 25 years to realize the Lord had me put on this earth to connect people together through the DMV Mastermind, through the book. And so the way to reach that, your God-given talents, you have to understand the principalities. You can read all the scripture you want. You can quote everything you need. But if you work in your flesh, that's where the problems happen. When I bring on the DMV Mastermind and I look at these events we're doing, I pray about it. It's all about kingdom building, meaning if your event is empowering the community and God's kingdom, you're going to be very successful. I have about 5 sponsors for the March 22nd.
Wonderful.
I haven't sold not one ticket. First time in my life I haven't sold a ticket. But I had 5 sponsors come on and pay it all off, and now I can give out free tickets.
Free tickets.
So
Wonderful.
that's God. That's God, and that's praying and knowing that you're in alignment. So the principalities, get away from your flesh, operate in the Holy Spirit. I always tell folks, if we're having a conversation, if we're having a disagreement, or we're thinking about planning, pray about it. Be in the Holy Spirit when you're making those decisions, because God will make sure that if you it got to a point where I couldn't finish this book, and I was praying with Dr. Essie McCoy. She's like, what chapter are you on? I said, I have nothing left. And the Lord was like, I need you to just pray, and I'll give you some more chapters to write. Because I wasn't just writing a book to make money. That's fine. I was writing a book to have a teaching tool to folks. And I've got the reviews back. The folks are like, Larry, I just started my business. You inspired me. You were a single parent. You went through a lot of things to go ahead and be where you're at today. So the Mastermind Group is just an opportunity for folks that may not have a certain platform, may not have the networking because I've been around, and I can, when we were at the Black History Program a few weeks ago, that county executive, Stuart Pittman, really didn't have time to show up, but he knew just being elected, that was a place where he needed to be. And that partnership has created an opportunity for the entire Mastermind Group, because he's one of the gentlemen, political officers that's going to be paying for the March 22nd, 2030 event, Deposit Your Dreams into Success. So that partnership was created through the Black History Program and the Mastermind Group.
Good, good. I heard you say a lot of things. You said it's going to be called the 3 Ps: pain, purpose, and passion.
Pain, position, and purpose.
Pain, position, and purpose. And so, when I wrote my first book, I'm Still Here Living a Purposeful Life, the quote that God gave me to be on the cover was, the pain of your process will birth a passion-filled purpose. Go and be the thought of God.
Amen.
Because you were just simply a thought, and then you were conceived through the thought.
That's right.
And your mother was just used to birth you so that you could fulfill what God had already called you to do. And you're just going to do it because the word is not going to come back to him void.
Absolutely.
So you're going to fulfill it one way or another. You don't have a choice, right?
Absolutely.
And so, that's wonderful that you have taken this and you really have applied it to something bigger than you, and using it of purpose in a meeting to go and help others the way we should help others. So I appreciate that. And so we're going to just take a little break, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
And then we're going to bring some of these great DMV Mastermind members on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you introduce them. because you've worked with them longer, and I want you to introduce them. And I know that you're going to have a nice, shiny word to say for each and every one of them.
Because that word, Robert Antoinette, I can say it real smooth.
Yes, let me tell you something. He can give you an 11-minute speech and leave you sitting there and be like, drop the mic. He's not even prepared. I'm going to tell you about it. But he'll just be ye also ready, and he's ready. So I know that he got something for us today. So we're going to take a break. Listen, don't you go anywhere, because if you do, you are going to miss out. We have some great people here in the house today. Stay right there. I want you to send out on your social media, your email, your text, whatever. Tune in to Turning Dreams into Reality, www.voxwave.com, and that's VOXWAV, and we'll be right back. Stay right there.
Many times in our lives, we sit and wonder why God has us where He does. A living sacrifice to be an example to the world, so that everyone can see His goodness and His mercy, how His grace covers me. You gotta go where God leads. You gotta shine so people can see. You gotta grow where you are and know that God will keep you. You gotta go where God leads. Shine so people can see. You gotta grow where you are and know that God will keep you. Many are the plans of man, but only God's plan will prevail. Don't be weary in well-doing. All you have to do is keep going. Have faith and believe, and know one day you'll receive all the blessings that's for you. He is going to see you through. You gotta go where God leads. You gotta shine so people can see. You gotta grow where you are and know that God will keep you. You gotta go where God leads. You gotta shine so people can see. You gotta grow where you are and know that God will keep you. Greater is He that's in me than he that's in the world. I am an overcomer. I'm more than a conqueror. Greater is He that's in me than he that's in the world. I am an overcomer. I'm more than a conqueror. Greater is He that's in me than he that's in the world. I am an overcomer. I'm more than a conqueror. Greater is He that's in me than he that's in the world. I am an overcomer. I'm more than a conqueror. Gotta go where God leads. Where God leads. You gotta shine so people can see. They can see. You gotta go where you are. Where you are. Know that God will keep. He will keep. You gotta go where God leads. Where He leads. You gotta shine so people can see. They can see. You gotta grow where you are and know that God will keep you. You gotta go where God leads. Where God leads. You gotta shine so people can see. They can see. You gotta grow where you are. Where you are. And know that God will keep. He will keep you. Go where God leads. You gotta shine so people can see. You gotta grow where you are. Where you are. And know that God will keep you. Many times in our lives, we sit and wonder why God has us where He does. A living sacrifice to be an example to the world, so that everyone can see His goodness and His mercy, how His grace covers me. You gotta go where God leads. You gotta shine so people can see. You gotta grow where you are and know that God will keep you. You gotta grow so people can see. You gotta grow where you are and know that God will keep you. Many are the plans of man, but only God's plan will prevail. Don't be weary in well-doing. All you have to do is keep going. Have faith and believe, and know one day you'll receive all the blessings that's for you. He is going to see you through. You gotta grow where God is.
Welcome back to Turning Dreams into Reality Talk Show, where we are celebrating our 1-year anniversary. Give it up for us again. 1 year. This is something to celebrate. We are excited about that. It's only the beginning. You're going to see me, and I'm going to have a skybox and, a DJ and all that stuff. Listen, it's my dream. What if some don't believe? Hey, I'm going to keep doing it because God said so. So listen, that's why we're here today, because it's about your dreams and turning them into a vision and then a reality. And like I said, what if some don't believe? Just let them not believe, because it's about you, as long as you believe and you work hard and pursue it. And we're going to talk about those dreams and how they were turned into reality with some of our guests. But before we went to break, I had the opportunity to speak with Dr. Larry White, Sr., the president's founder, CEO, visionary, the man of the DMV Mastermind. And he's going to actually introduce some of the members that are here with us today. So I'm going to turn it over to you and let you introduce these fine people here.
Well, look, we are in Women's History Month,
yes.
And we went over to the international side. But I'm going to go ahead because we got some beautiful brothers in here we are representing. And over to my right, I would just like to introduce Robert Antoinette.
Yes.
I'm just going to do a quick introduction.
Say his name again so people
Robert
will know.
Antoinette.
Robert Antoinette. That's his
Robert
name.
Antoinette, a native Washingtonian. He's going to credential himself. But I want to say this. We had lunch a little while about in Annapolis a year ago. And he came up to me after the Black History program. He says, I like what you're doing. I said, Robert, I need your help. We need more men in the group. We need a more male perspective. I love the women empowerment, but I always say, hey, if you go on a women's retreat or women empowerment and the husband is sitting at home with the remote, he doesn't have the tools to engage in what you just learned. So the men are trying to really, that's what I love about the Mastermind group, because we got the men and women perspective. So Robert Antoinette, how are you? Welcome to the show,
yes, sir. Let's give it up for Robert Antoinette. That's right.
Good afternoon, everybody. I am Robert Antoinette Lik, founder and CEO of Leadership Lessons. I work with leaders to strategize them and help them to lead people who don't want to be led. But since today is National Women's Month, I know that the scripture says that he that findeth a wife, he find a good thing.
A good thing.
Shout out to all the good things.
Good thing in the house. Good thing in the house. Woo! Good thing in the house. Give me some hearts. Give me some hearts. Yes. Good thing. Wait a minute, Robert. But then he also said, blessed is the one that thou choosest.
Yeah.
Yes. So blessed in the house. Blessed in the house. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Robert. Thank you.
One thing I love about Robert, and we'll go over to Dr. S.C. McCoy momentarily, is that he and I, we worked good together, even like through email. But I just love how he came in and he supported Dr. Essie in her book launch. So he's like that Aaron to Moses, when Moses' hands was up and they would go down and would get tired, things like that. But I thank Robert for just coming in and helping out everybody. And again, motivational speaker. He just was honored at our Black History program for DMV Speaker of the Year.
Yes.
So as a DMV Mastermind member, you can get him for a discounted price. But I know we'll hear from Robert shortly. But our next DMV Mastermind member, who's just really stepped up into the fold, she started out as Senior VP of Operations. Now she serves as our co-chair.
All right.
Dr. S.C. McCoy.
Dr. S.C. McCoy, yes, and congratulations to you.
Thank you and good afternoon. Thank you so much for allowing me to be on your show. Happy anniversary
Thank
once again
you.
to you. I am the CEO, President, Founder of Dr. S.C. Speaks,
Yes.
educational consulting company. So I do teacher and leadership development. Also work a little bit at George Mason, speaking engagements, and also an author. And working on several book collaborations as long as I can.
Exactly right. Once you start, you don't stop.
That's right.
She really inspired me. About 6 months ago, she says, I've been in education for 30 plus years. I'm ready to retire. I need a website. I'm ready to write a book. I'm ready to go. We prayed countless days and nights, and she went downtown in Raleigh, Winston-Salem, got her LLC. I said, hey, you really need to be incorporated to start your business. She said, I want to do it right. I said, go to irs.gov, get your EIN number. Within 24 hours, she just lit it up. So I'm just very proud that you, this great entrepreneur now, because 6 months ago you were in education, and like my wife says, she's tired. She's about ready to follow. So I need you to mentor her on that.
It will make you tired.
And just congratulations on 30 years.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Lik. Thank you so much. And I want to say thanks to you, because without you being the visionary leader, I wouldn't be where I am today, and all these wonderful people. Awesome. It is so wonderful to be flanked with everyone on this panel.
Nice.
Well, listen, thank you so much, Dr. A.C. McCoy, my sister. Now, listen, Dr. Sharon, I had an opportunity to be on her show, and I came up here one day and I saw all these books, and my good friend, shout out to Karen Marie Austin, my mentor. I was like, my book ain't up here, and so I was blessed to have a platform to talk about the cruise. And Dr. Sharon, the Lord said, you got to connect with her, and she just had so much energy. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, she's a newest mastermind member, Dr. Sharon Porter with
Welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Taskeka. And you know this is my first media home. I love Oxway. So thank you for the invitation and allowing me to come back and share with you. But I am Dr. Sharon H. Porter. I am the CEO of Perfect Time SHP Coaching, Consulting, and Book Publishing Firm. I, too, am an educator, author, and speaker, and just glad to be here.
Yes, we're glad to have you. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you.
Shout out to Ron, the producer again, Ron. Always catch me when I go to the wrong building. The next person I'm going to introduce has just a beautiful first name. I was reading to you in that portion of my book where I was in that near car accident on our way to her book signing. To date, probably one of the best book signings I've ever been to. It was absolutely amazing. I took some golden nuggets from your sister. She's awesome. She's got a great personality. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Valika Moore.
Yes, so
Thank you for that introduction, Dr. Larry. Thank you so much for having me here today, Dr. Taskeka. It's just a pleasure being here today. So I'm Dr. Valika. I am your transformation activator for women leaders. I'm the owner of Empowerment Through Expression LLC, Therapy Center and Mind Spa in Laurel, Maryland, and the author of The Mental Detox for the Brilliant Woman Leader.
Yes, welcome. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here. Listen, it's exciting to be able to celebrate with the people that you really collaborate with and network with. And you know, it brings me back to last year when I started my first show. I'm a part of another leadership group called the Extreme Makeover Leaders, which is founded by Lisa M. Jones from Jones, Jules & Associates. She's a phenomenal coach. If you don't know her, get to know her as well. And we were here together on my very first show. So it means a lot when, you know, people come together and connect together and network and collaborate. So let's talk about that, because, you know, we've been talking a lot about that through the Black CEO and Black and Influential, about the importance of collaboration. Why is it so important? And anybody can answer these questions as I share them. Why is it so important to not do things in isolation, but really to collaborate and build relationships? I always say you don't need everybody, you just need the right body. Why is it so important for collaboration, networking, and building those relationships when you are turning your dreams into reality? And anybody can answer that question.
Well, I'll start. We are absolutely better together.
Yes, we are.
I just believe that. First of all, the energy, like we don't have enough to do all that we can do on our own. And I go back to Dr. Larry when he mentioned when he first started, he had all of these dreams that he wanted to do. He needed help to do that. And I just think we can do so much quicker and further if we do it together and if we're all in alignment, because that's important. You can't have everybody around you.
Exactly.
But if you have the right people, you can just do so much more.
Exactly.
And I concur with her, and I think of two words, and they are complementing each other and also the enhancement.
Good.
Because sometimes you can have a small idea, but somebody next to me, like Robert Antoinette, can say, wait a minute, Dr. McCoy, have you thought about this? Or Sharon, or any of you can say, have you thought about this, and take it to the next level. And so that is so very important, that you complement and you enhance each other.
Just one last piece. If you all remember the speech that Dr. Marcy Ross gave in the Black History program, she talked about collaborating. You can't do it alone. And I wanted to say something to Dr. Valika Moore when we talk about health. Your health is your wealth. It's really important when you have all these educators, these collaborations of speakers. I'm telling you, I wake up every morning just proud. I'm watching all of you all, the collaborations. I mean, my mom always told me, if you are not learning with the group you in, get another group, get out of there. And so I'm constantly learning from all of you all, but I just got to tell you, collaboration, and I got to tell you, these two amazing women right here, Dr. Valika Moore and Dr. Sharon, they are the speakers for that March 22nd and 23rd, Deposit Your Dreams into Success. These two wonderful individuals, they just shut it down for the Black History Program. That's collaboration. Again, those are perfect examples of real time where we just didn't talk about it, we were about it. So collaboration and creating those partnerships.
Exactly. And I know everybody that's in here, they are either participating now in some type of collaboration or have participated. So let's talk about that and share some of the collaborations you're doing now or you just recently done. And we could just go around the table, whoever wants to start.
Well, I certainly am a part of the DMV Mastermind, thanks to Dr. Larry White. It has been an honor and a pleasure to be around so many different people. And we've already said it many times, but it's worth saying again that, you know, if your vision can be done by yourself, it's not big enough. You need a team. All the biggest corporations.
Hashtag that. I need somebody to put that. Remember, his name is Robert Antoinette. Say it again, Robert, so somebody can put it on that thing. If what now?
If you can do it by yourself, your vision is too small.
It's too small.
Yes,
it's
I love
too
that.
small. I love it.
So I am a part of a bunch of collectives, and I've known that everybody has a hand, right? And all your hands have 5 fingers, and all of them individually can do but so much. But when you put that fist together, you can be powerful. And that's what we have been, and that's what we are. So collaboration is the key to moving your dream forward. Also, I'm with the Black CEO, which is what you're a part of. You came to and turned it out, shut it down. You're on stage
To God
twice.
be the glory.
So, and I had an opportunity to be there as well, and I just wanted to be a participant, just to sit and watch and learn. And I was called and tapped by God.
Yes, you were. Yes, you were.
Put on the spot. Be ye ever ready.
Right.
Is what I learned.
And then you got to do it in 11 minutes.
Oh my goodness. Hashtag 11.
Hashtag 11.
But I was able to do that, Dr. Essie, because I had Taskeka in the audience. So I knew I had some people in the audience who were there with me to collaborate.
Yes.
And a collective partnership allowed me to be strong and shine in that.
That's true. And you know, it's funny you said that because it was like, you look at the people in the room that you really know are there for you authentically in their heart. They labor and love with you. And so it was easy for me, like Robert said, shut it down. Because I looked at Robert and I looked at who else was there? Cynthia Green and some of them at Dakisha. And so I was looking at those people because if nobody else was going to say, you better say that. I was there. I knew they was going to say it. We already practiced it anyway. But thank you. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you. What are some of the collaborative things that you've been doing lately?
So I'm going to piggyback off of something Robert said, and that is sit, watch, and listen. When you're in a collaboration, you cannot do that. I am in actually 2 book projects right now, and I think what comes to mind for me is sisterhood. Creating that sisterhood and just learning from each other and bonding, it is phenomenal. And definitely I thank you for that opportunity.
You're welcome.
And Dr. Marquita Blades and Ashley Little. I mean, it's awesome. It's amazing what you can do when you put your brains together and you collaborate and create those partnerships and sisterhood, and not only sisterhood, but also brotherhood as well.
Good.
Leave out the brother.
And Sharon. Dr. Sharon is the master of collaboration.
You know, and that is why, Taskeka, honestly, you know, I started out with the book collaboration as being an author, and it was just so uplifting. And so I vowed that I was going to focus on collaboration books because I would bring in individuals who would not otherwise think that they could publish a book. And so that is a first step, and then I help them then go do their own thing. But so that I have that at the wazoo. But we are in Girlfriend Collective, the sorority edition together. That's a collaboration again with our DMV mastermind, Ashley Little. In addition, right here to my side is one of my co-hosts of Education First. It's an educational segment that we have on the I Am Dr. Sharon show each month, and it is a powerful show, nothing but educational topics. We turned it down last month, I tell you. So it's wonderful, and I just, that's all I would do. I would never do anything on my own. I will always bring in others to help that vision go
forward. Very nice. And Dr. Valika, now we have something great coming up in a few days. So let's talk about your collaboration.
Okay, so I'll talk about my collaboration, but just, you know, I want to speak to the question that you asked about why collaboration is important as well. You know, and I feel like it was definitely said here, but I feel like God, He's the giver of all visions and all dreams that we have, right? And so I believe that He gives me a part. He gives Dr. Sharon a part. He gives you a part. He gives everybody a part. So then when we come together, because it's to fulfill His purpose, right? The purpose that He put in to us and for His glory. And so, you know, that's why it's so important just for ministry. You know, that, you know, we get together and we each do our part, but it's for just the bigger purpose, the bigger vision. And so, you know, I love collaboration, and what I'm doing as well now is collaboration books. I did my first collaboration with a publisher, Jessica Mosley, last year. She is the CEO of the Miss CEO Project. And so I did 2 collaborations with her last year, and I just loved it. And what I wanted to do was just help other women to be able to have a platform to speak. So this year I actually did a collaboration, the Breaking to Brilliance book, which is getting ready to drop next month.
Congratulations.
In April, so it'll be released next April. Planning for the book signing for that. But, you know, that particular book is on healing. And what I love about book collaborations is that it gives multiple people a voice. Because, you know, when we do a book on our own, that's great. And, you know, and people can actually, you know, they can definitely get something from the book. They can have takeaways or things that they take away from the book. But with a book collaboration, it's so many people for them to be able to identify with. When you have a collaboration, it's going to be someone that you're able to identify. You're going to be able to connect with their story. And so that is what I'm loving about collaborations. This book collaboration is particularly on healing, and it's different stories of healing because there's something that each one of us have probably had to heal from. My story isn't your story or the next person's story, but there will be somebody to be able to connect with each of the stories, or at least one of the stories in the book.
Good. That's wonderful, because I was sitting here while you all were talking of just the great things that you're doing, right? And so, you know, people, when they look, you know, a lot of people that look on to people, I think they are very much deceived. And so they don't realize and hear what people have to actually go through to get to where they are. That you don't just start here and end here. That, like we talked about, there is a process. And I just shared this. I want to celebrate because I am an Amazon best-selling author and an international best-selling author with this book here. It's called Set Apart and Chosen. God Uses Ordinary Women to Do Extraordinary Things. And actually there was 20 people that contributed to this book. I had no idea about this book. The young lady I was sharing about you, Lisa M. Jones, said, listen, I'm part of a book collaboration. You're going to be in it too. And Lisa M. Jones, I trust her with all my heart. So whenever she says to do something, it's good. You know, and so I said, okay, what I got to do? Just tell me what I got to do. And so I joined it. And actually, Kimberly LeBeau from LeBeau Publishing is from Hawaii, is in Hawaii, but she's coming here on March 24th for the book launch. And so, you know, with that being said, I shared this week that when I wrote my first book in 2010, I wrote it because I needed healing, because I was in distress. I was going through postpartum depression. I had really actually depression before and postpartum, because I was 7 months pregnant when my mother died. And I just needed healing. Like, I didn't want to be an author. I didn't want to be a bestseller. I needed healing. And God said to write. And so when I wrote, the book began to evolve into these seasons. And when I realized that, you know, to each season, something different was happening in my life. My mother had passed. I gave birth to my daughter. You know, to be transparent, my husband and I were having challenges in our marriage. But, you know, we were prophesied to that our marriage would not end in a divorce, that it would be a demonstration for others to see God's love. And we're walking in it now. And so with that being said, each season something happened. But people didn't see that. They just saw Taskeka Green with a book. But this book came through a process. And here it is. 9 years later, since my mother passed away, 8 books later, and now a bestseller, Amazon bestseller. People didn't see the days when I lost my job and other things, but now I'm an entrepreneur full-time. See, people don't see that. They don't see it. I'm very transparent. The days where I stood in the food pantry line trying to get food, and now our cupboards are running over.
Yes.
Like, okay, we got stuff in the garage, but even one of my friends was like, why do you have so much stuff? Because there'll always be meat in my storehouse. I'm just saying, Robert. But people don't see that. They just see the product, but they don't see the process. Yeah. So let's help out those people that are really trying to turn their dreams into reality, and they think they should be on a fast mode, but it's really he that endureth to the end. Yes. You just got to endure. Some of those things you had to endure to get to where you had to go. So anybody can start first.
Yeah, I'll jump out there. It's such an amazing transformation just to listen and hear you speak, right? Because it's easy to fall in love with the product and the finished product of what you see now. And I love what T.D. Jakes says, that people, they see your glory, but they never know your story.
Never know your story.
Right? And there's so many examples about that. We talk about scriptures, Dr. Larry. We talk about David. We talk about Jesus. He came from a town called Bethlehem, a.k.a. the ghetto, for real. He was born in a barn.
Yeah.
But from humble beginnings, he was able to transform himself and be the greatest name that we've ever known on earth.
Yes.
Right? And that has been my story as well. I've certainly started from nothing, and I just had a vision of what I wanted to do. And I'm a big believer in actualization and visualization. So I see it before I see it.
Okay.
And if I don't see it, it won't happen. Like Dr. Larry said, he doesn't do anything unless God confirms that in his spirit, down in his shana. So whatever it is, something that I want, anything that I've achieved, I saw it before I saw it. And I knew I wanted to speak, but I didn't know what it would look like. So I'm on stages. I'm speaking and impacting lives and doing exactly what I practice in the mirror in the bathroom. Dr. Taskeka, I know you probably sing it to yourself in the mirror. Well, I was talking to the mirror. So I had my son say, Dad, are you talking to yourself? No, I'm talking to millions. I'm able to walk into that greatness right now to where I am. And all praises be unto God that he's allowed me to be in the position where I am. But it started out as a dream. It started out as a thought. It started out practicing in the bathroom.
Yes. And you know what? You inspired me because your testimony that you shared at Black and Influential of what happened to you was similar to what happened to me. Can you give us a little bit of that, of how you evolved into this?
So what I shared at Black and Influential was that I used to be managing a multi-million-dollar budget, right? I had the company car, I had the company credit card, I was the HNI, y'all feeling the rest. I was showing up somebody. And one day I had my regional manager, who I was very, very close with, come in and say, hey, I'm coming to see you today. And that wasn't a big deal for me because he would often come in and spend time with me. We would go to dinner and breakfast unannounced. And this one particular day he came in and he sat down with somebody else that I was really close with, a young lady, her name was Debbie, and she was a regional salesperson who had advanced. I trained her. We were all sitting there at the table together, and the conversation started out like this. He said, this is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. Went over my head. I didn't catch the vision. I didn't catch what was about to happen. But long story short, the conversation ended with, we will no longer be in the Robert Antoinette business. And I walked out fired. But the backstory to that is, for a year and a half, I had been praying to God, God, please put me in a position where I can speak to millions of people. Use this talent that you've given me, God. I just want to be in a position where I can go talk to people. And I prayed and prayed and prayed, but nothing happened. And one thing that I learned that I shared at Black and Influential, when you pray, be specific about your prayer. Because he answered my prayer, and he put me in a position to do what I want to do, what I've been destined to do. It just didn't happen quite the way I wanted it to. However, from that day and in that moment, I knew for sure that this was God sent, and this was created and crafted by God, and he answered the prayer that I prayed. It wasn't specific, but he answered it.
Exactly.
So I shared that with Black and Influential from humble beginnings, because people want to know, how are you able to share all these lessons? Because a whole lot of things happen.
A whole lot. A whole lot.
I went through some pain to be able to bring these stories and these principles that I share with leaders every single day that they're struggling with, how can I get through to these people?
Right.
What is the secret sauce to get them from A to B? Why won't they listen to what I'm doing? Well, brother, sister, I've been where you are, and I'm able to share my pain with you to put you in a position to live in your purpose.
Right. And you went through it because God could trust you.
Sure.
That when I bring you out, that you won't own any of it.
Right.
I see so much of self, which you were talking about earlier, trying to own God's glory.
Sure.
But he sent you through it because he knew that you were going to come out and give him glory and always acknowledge him first. And he's going to continue to direct your path.
Absolutely.
And so I celebrate you on today, Robert, and where you are and where you're walking. So let's give it up for Robert! Yes. Listen, I'm just excited. And I tell y'all it's going to be hot. It is going to be hot. Let's keep it moving. Just share some of the things that you have undergone, the barriers, the challenges to get to where you are today.
I would say for me, pray, meditate, focus, and think about where you want to be, and make sure you surround yourself with the people based on where you're headed. Don't look at somebody else's dream and think, oh, I want to capture that dream.
Right.
I want to make it my dream. Your walk and your journey is so different for you. And so take that and go with it and just rely on God every step of the way.
Exactly. Your dream is your dream. Hashtag that. Your dream is your dream. That's right. Thank you, Dr. Essie.
And for me, I was my own obstacle, self-doubt, fear, and seeking other validations.
Okay.
And so, once I overcame that, the heavens of the doors were open for me. And so I just, really implore to everyone, stop seeking validation from others.
Yes.
Have that affirmation for yourself and don't wait for confirmation of others.
Exactly.
And so I always say I'm free. I feel free now. That I'm not seeking validation from others. So that really was my obstacle for so many years, and just recently I've been free.
Exactly, and that's good you said that, because I was sharing not too long ago, is that when people seek validation, they want advice.
Yes.
Right? But when you go beyond one person, you should always have, someone you trust, like your pastor, your mentor, your coach, or somebody that can help you and guide you and things of that nature. But when you go past one person, no longer do you want advice. You want affirmation and you want attention. And so you need to just stop where you are, get what you need, and walk in it, because your what? Hashtag your dream is your dream. That's right. Thank you, Sharon. Come on now, Dr. Lik. What you got going on, girl?
What I would say is, number one is not trying to rush there or get to where you think you're supposed to be so fast. Because sometimes we're just like, okay, I should be there by now, or I just want all of this, which sometimes can even delay the dream because we feel like we don't have all the parts to fully be able to move into what we see. And what I always say is that, anyway, God only gives us part of it because he doesn't want to scare us anyway, right? So he gives us part, but as we begin to walk in obedience, and and just follow through, and just work with what we have and what he's already given us, he's going to open the doors. He's going to make the path, right, for us to walk in. And and then there's more of the vision that he begins to reveal. So even for me, when I started my business 5 years ago, and where I saw myself, I'm thinking, okay, wow, like I'm finally starting my therapy practice, and I was excited about that. But even to look 5 years ago to where I am now, I had no plans for this.
No plans.
So not to rush. Just allow God to guide you, and you'll get there.
Right. And I heard you say hashtag walk in obedience. It's so important. Before you came on, I talked a little bit about obedience. That if you don't do what God tells you to do, this is what will happen. He will remove you. Okay, he can remove you, and he can replace you, and he can give it to somebody else. Because it's gonna get done. It has to get done. And so, like you said, walk in obedience, because obedience is far better than sacrifice. And you used another word that I had to learn. Well, plans. That many are the plans of man, but only God's plan is gonna avail. And so, what's gonna happen is if your plans don't align with God's plan, he's going to interrupt those plans to put you back in alignment with his plan. So you better make sure that your plan aligns with God's plan, because hashtag your dream is your dream. Yes, listen, we only have, did I put that together, Robert? Did I put it together? Yeah, and I got to give a shout out. I'm sorry, I have to give a shout out to Velton Showell, because Velton told me something. And everybody plants little seeds in your life. He said, I was actually doing a video, right? And he was like, what are you looking at? And I said, I'm looking at the words on the screen. And he started laughing. He was like, let me tell you something. And he told me something. He said, you don't need those notes. Everything that's in you is in your heart. Speak from your heart. And I put them notes away, and I think I crushed it. So, Velton, if you're listening, let me know how I did on my video. But listen, it's the truth that, you know, it's the right people, not everybody. Your dream is your dream. It's going to get fulfilled. And so I celebrate that. So anything you want to say before we only have 5, how many minutes I have, Ron? 7 minutes? 5 minutes, and Ron will shut me down. You got to shut me down on time today? Somebody after me? You got to shut me down on time today. So I want to just get to our quick little game. We're going to play our little game. I'm telling you, we're going to play our little game. But anything you want to, in 1 minute, conclude with about what you just saw today from the DMV Mastermind. Weren't you proud?
Absolutely. You see, well, look, as the pastor would say at my church, can I unpack it?
Yes, yes, yeah, you got 1 minute to unpack.
all I'm going to say is fear. False evidence appearing real.
Yes.
Sometimes you got to get out of your own way. When I get out of my own way and let God do his things, it's just a piece of cake. That's not going to say you're not going to go through that pain and that purpose, put you in a position, and me and Robert, we got to hashtag that. But, you know, that's it. Get out of your own way. You know, I want to just say this in the last 30 seconds. When I was on tour last year, Delaware, Chicago, Atlanta, that was the Lord stretching me. Because I was like, I've never sold a ticket outside of D.C. Packed house in Chicago, packed house in Newark, Delaware, packed house in Atlanta. Now I got my book and I go on tour again. That was the Lord stretching me. So when it's happening and people are coming, you're like wondering where the money's going to come from. Get that fear out of the way. Let God stretch you and use you in your God-given talents. Amen.
Good, good. Well, listen, you have a whiteboard. Everybody get their whiteboard out. Listen, we're going to, because you know the saying, great minds think alike, and these are the DMV Mastermind. So let's see what our minds are thinking today. I am going to say something, and you are going to finish it. How about that? Are you ready? And you have a whiteboard. My husband's laughing because we played this game last month where it was couples on how well do you know your spouse, and we lost. So he's having a flashback. So we're going to play Great Minds Think Alike, and you just finish it. Habakkuk 2 says, write the blank and make it plain on tablets.
One more time.
Habakkuk 2:2 says, write the blank and make it plain on tablets. All right. Success and greatness. Okay, we want you to go read Habakkuk 2 tonight.
Me too.
All right, what is it? Hold it up. Write the vision and make it plain on tablets so that when men see it, they can take it and run. That's right. Amen. And that's what we're talking about. All right, Habakkuk 2:2. Listen. Here's another one. Let's see. Great minds think alike. I have it all here. Give me 1 second. I had it here. Let me get to it. Got my pages all confused. Y'all got my pages confused. Lord, where is it? Okay.
You know you were talking about collaboration.
Here we go. Proverbs 27:17 says, iron sharpens blank. Iron sharpens blank. Let's see what you got. Yeah, great minds think alike. Iron sharpens iron.
Robert forgot his S.
I forgot my S too.
Here we go. Let me see if you know this one. Les Brown said, I'm going to put some Les Brown in there. Right. Les Brown said, if you run around 9 broke people, I guarantee that you will become number blank. Les Brown said, if you run around 9 broke people, I guarantee you that you will become number blank. All right, what is it? Dr. Essie, we want you to go home and Google some of this stuff. You might want to check her. She's the one in your group, the chairperson.
That's so funny.
I forgot my 0. Okay.
Hold it up. It's number 10. That's right. That's Brown said if you hang around 9 people, you can become number 10. So get away from them broke people. All right. One more. This one might be hard. Let's see if you know what Colin Powell said. Colin Powell said, a dream doesn't become a reality through magic. It takes sweat, determination, and blank. Colin Powell said, a dream doesn't become reality through magic. It takes sweat, determination, and blank. Let's see what you have. Woo! We have some Colin Powell quotes here. Yes, hard work. That too. Somebody else got it wrong. Definitely prayer. But Colin Powell did say that a dream doesn't become reality through magic. It takes sweat, determination, hard work, and Dr. Malika gonna add prayer. That's right. Listen, great minds do think alike. They're all winners. And what do they get, baby? You get a thank you. 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 And you get a special thank you. Yes, and thank you so much for celebrating. Before we go, let's just take a quick second to tell everyone how they can find you and if you have an event coming up soon. So we'll just go around the room and we'll end with Dr. Larry and I. Robert.
My name is Robert Antoinette of Leadership Lessons. You can find me on any social media outlet as Robert Antoinette. I do not have anything coming up, but I will be collaborating with one of these great people on the table to make something happen.
Yes.
Very soon.
Yes.
Dr. Essie McCoy, you can reach me at www.dressiespeaks.com and on all the social media platforms.
Good.
And I am Dr. Sharon, and you can reach me on all social media platforms at I am Dr. Sharon, and that's Dr. Sharon.
And I am Dr. Valika, and you can reach me at www.drvalikamore.com and across all social media platforms at Dr. Valika Moore.
And your event coming up?
Is the book signing in April for the Breaking to Brilliance book. That'll be on Saturday, April 6th from 1 o'clock to 4.
Good.
Absolutely. Deposit Your Dreams into Success Tour, March 22nd, 23rd. You can get your tickets right now. VIP Events with an S, VIPEventsconcierge.com. Dr. Larry White Sr. on all social media platforms.
Good. And then just quickly, on March 16th, Joan Jules and Associates will have a vision board party from 2 to 6 where I will be speaking and being honoring. On March 24th, Set Apart and Chosen book launch where I will be starting off the book launch and we will be having a celebration. And last but not least, this is in April, but I want to celebrate a lady, Nakia Wright, and A Woman's Voice. They will be having their annual conference called A Woman's Voice Matters. Happiness is a game changer. So visit A Woman's Voice to purchase your ticket. Listen, I'm so glad you joined us today. I know that something we said today has inspired you, impacted you, and influenced you to take your dream, turn it into a vision, and then turn it into a reality. I am Dr. Taskeka L. Green, and I can be found on all social media links, Taskeka L. Green, and also at www.2eseasons.com. Mark your calendar, second Saturdays in each month, 3 to 4. I'll see you then. Have a prosperous, purposeful, and productive month until we come back together again. Be blessed.
Many times in our lives, we sit and wonder why God has us where He does. A living sacrifice to be an example to the world, so that everyone can see His goodness and His mercy, how His grace covers me. You gotta go where God lives. You gotta shine so people can see. You gotta grow where you are and know that God will keep you. You gotta grow where God lives. Shine so people can see. You gotta grow where you are and know that God will keep you. Many are the plans of man, but only God's plan will prevail. Don't be weary in well doing. All you have to do is keep going. Have